Welcome to the channel. This is Cory from BitFire with an exciting video today demonstrating the new RASP technology available in the BitFire firewall. If you don't know, RASP stands for Runtime Application Self-Protection. This is a technology that has previously only been available in $50,000, $100,000 firewall systems available from Imperva or Signal Sciences. These are new technologies that integrate at a much lower level with your operating system. A traditional WAF looks at a request or web traffic coming into your site, looks at it, and either allows it, passes it on to WordPress, or blocks it, doesn't pass it on to WordPress. That's all it does. What a RASP does is it monitors the execution of the program, and at critical security points, in the example I'm going to demonstrate today, accessing PHP files and updating user permission data, perform security checks to make sure that you're authorized to do that. So if you're not currently logged in as an administrator, you shouldn't have access to modified PHP files. I'm going to show you how the software actually blocks that in a real vulnerability. And if you're trying to promote yourself to an administrator user or someone else to administrator user, if you're not already logged in as an admin, you shouldn't be able to do that either. Those are the types of actions that the RASP system can prevent. Okay, RASP actually is much faster than the WAF technology, even though it's doing more. The reason is those checks only happen at critical times when those events happen. During most of your firewall or during most of your website operation, you're not creating new administrator accounts and you're not editing PHP files. So those checks never have to run, keeping your site extremely fast and responsive. If you're interested in the technology, go check out the website. It's bitfire.co. There's an install link in the header with an install guide you can go click on. But right now, I'm going to show you a live WordPress website. It's running here. It has a couple posts, and we're going to demonstrate a vulnerable comments plugin. Okay, this is our example comments plugin here. We have another browser that's logged in as administrator. So this system is not logged in, right? We get the login page. And our Chrome browser is logged in. Now, currently, we have the WordFence security plugin activated, and I'm going to show you the difference between a WAF technology using the most popular WAF available for WordPress today with 5 or 6 million installs. And I'm going to show you what RASP technology can do and how those two things are completely different. So with our WordFence currently up and running in block mode, which I'm going to demonstrate in just a second, here's our vulnerable plugin. I'm going to show you how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to be able to add a comment and attach either or upload a profile photo or link to a photo on the internet, add a name and your comment, and then optionally you can subscribe, create a user account and subscribe to the blog to receive updates and notifications. That's it. So what we're going to do to show you how this works, we're going to take this profile photo here, and we're going to use that one, and we're going to say this guy is Iceman. And say, so what if I'm wearing my girlfriend's glasses? So what? And we're going to create an account. That's a subscriber account, and we're going to post. Right now it's downloading that image, running it to the file system, and we have a new comment here from Iceman. So what if I'm wearing my girlfriend's glasses? Let's take a look at the code and see exactly what it's doing. Not that one. Let's look at this one. Now, if you're not a programmer, don't worry. This is really simple code. We're just going to go through it briefly. If you are a programmer, I think you're going to be really surprised at how this works. So here's our first vulnerability right here. If you've attached a file or uploaded a file with your request, we call move uploaded file with whatever you sent us to the avatars directory. So if you upload a JPEG file, we're going to write a JPEG file. If you upload a PNG file, we're going to write a PNG file. If you upload a PHP file, we're going to upload a PHP file. There's multiple vulnerabilities here. There's directory traversal attacks. There's file override attacks. There's file modifications. There's file uploads. This is about as bad as it gets. It's also about as simple and straightforward of vulnerabilities you can possibly have, which is why I'm using it in the demonstration today. That's the first vulnerability. The second vulnerability is almost identical to the first, but instead of uploading the file, we're going to take a URL and download whatever's at that URL and then do the exact same thing. We're not going to check it. We're just going to write it directly to the file system. Same thing. Directory traversal, file overwrite, file modification, PHP file uploads. It's not a good situation. And finally, our third vulnerability is in creating that user account. After we create the user account, which is fine. E-commerce systems create user accounts. If we create subscribers, then we want to send them information when blog posts happen. Those are subscribers. That's not a problem. The problem here is we set the default role to subscriber, and then we allow the user to send any permission level they want. We don't check it or validate it, and then we just set the user permission to whatever that is. Okay. This is going to allow us to pass in the word administrator to create an administrator account. Now I'm going to walk you through exactly how both of those vulnerabilities work, uploading PHP code and promoting WordPress users to administrator. I'm going to show you with the WordFence firewall enabled, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you have a RASP firewall enabled. Let's do the first one, the file upload. So we're going to browse. We have a backdoor script, and we're just going to call this, let's say serial killer, and we'll say far out, man. Now this should get blocked by the WAF because it should see backdoor PHP. It sees that as a request coming in. It's trying to write a PHP file. It says, no, I'm not going to allow you to write a PHP file, and it's going to block it. And it does. This is exactly what we would expect any PHP-based WAF to do. But that's it. That's as far as a WAF could go. It can't go any further than that. So if instead of uploading the backdoor, let's go ahead and actually reload this page to clear that out. Instead of browsing, what if we had our PHP code loaded on another server? So then instead of sending the file, we're telling it where to go get the file. Now the WAF has no idea what the software is doing because it doesn't see a file upload. So here we have a really simple PHP backdoor that all it does is take a single parameter named X and calls the pass-through function, which just runs a system command. This will allow us to edit files in the file system, download other files, edit PHP code, run database connections, basically just like we are logged into the shell on the web server. So let's take this URL of our backdoor to upload, and we'll go to our script, and instead of uploading a photo, we upload the PHP code, and we're going to call this 0cool, and we're going to say, don't play well with others. And we don't even need to create a user account. We're just going to post the comment. And we have a new 0cool user. I don't play with others. New 0cool comment, but there's no image. If we open that image in a new tab, we can see under our comments plugin, we have an avatars directory and a new stage1.php file, which accepts an X parameter and runs system commands. I can type in directory listings. I can cat etc password. I can run any command I want to in the system now. This is the difference between RASP and WAF. A WAF doesn't see this. WAF has no idea. Once it passes the request on to WordPress, it just hopes that it did something smart with it. That's our first vulnerability. Here's our second vulnerability. Let's create another user account called Acid Burn, and we say never send a boy to do a woman's job. We're going to create a user account this time, but instead of creating a subscriber account, we're going to come in here and we're going to create an administrator account. Okay, we post the comment, and we have a new Acid Burn comment that says never send a boy to do a woman's job. And if we look at our users, we have a new Acid Burn user that's an administrator. Okay, the WAF had no idea what the plugin was doing. Now let me show you what happens when you try the exact same exploits with a RASP technology. Now the RASP doesn't know anything about this vulnerability. The RASP actually has very little knowledge about new vulnerabilities as they come in. We update very, very few signatures for specific vulnerabilities. Almost everything is handled in the RASP layer. That's the database protection and the file system protection. We also have incredible bot blocking, which is the primary feature on the free version. I'll do that in another video, link down in the description. That's also really good. I think you guys are going to like that. But what we're going to do is go over to plugins, and we're going to deactivate WordFence because we've seen what the WAF can do. Now let's check what a runtime application self-protection can do. We're going to activate the BitFire RASP. We're going to go into advanced settings, and we're going to make sure that file system protection is checked and database protection is checked. All BitFire configuration options are simple toggle boxes. Do you want that enabled or not? In the settings, we have a global firewall enable. Good, that's on. We also have alerting and blocking mode. So you can toggle a rule into alert mode and see what it would block on the dashboard here, like this dashboard. You can see exactly what it would block. And then once you like that rule, you can flip it to block mode. If it blocks anything it's not supposed to block, this magic wand icon will add an exception for that specific block. So it's just that easy to fix anything. We rarely see incorrect blocks, but if you do, those functions are there for you. Let's take a look at how it protects your website now. We have the firewall enabled, and let's go back to our application here, and let's reload the page. Let's go ahead and try our first vulnerability. We're going to try and upload that backdoor, that stage 1 script. Now, let's copy that, do our stage 1 script. Now, I need to delete the existing one. Yep, delete, so that when we, let's look at this one, view image in new tab, the stage 1 script is gone, right? And I can just show you what I did here. We just RM stage 1. So just delete that file. Doesn't exist. Let's try and re-upload it now with the RASP. So here we have our photo URL as the stage 1. And our name is, let's do acid burn. Do we already have an acid burn account? Let's see. Users, we do have an acid burn account. Okay. Let's do we have a zero cool account? We do not. Let's do a zero cool stage 1, and we're going to say mess with the best, die like the rest. And we don't need to create an account for this attack because we're just uploading the backdoor. We're going to click post comment, and actually I'm going to show you here. You need a kick out of this. It's going to run all the way up until the file put contents line. As soon as we're going to intercept that call, we're going to see that it's trying to write a PHP file, and we're going to block it. Actually, we're going to do a little more than that. We're going to check to see if the current user is logged in as an administrator. And if that check fails, then we're going to block it. So let's see what that looks like. We post the comment, we immediately get a halt. This site's protected by BitFire. Your action, PHP file lock, was blocked. And if we look at that post, we can look at our header lines, which if you remember over here in our header, we had before file put contents. This is the line where we write the file, and then after file put contents. And if we look here at our response headers, we have an info line 1 before file put contents, but there's no after file put contents. That's because the RASP technology actually intercepted that call to write to the file system and prevented it from executing. This is how we can prevent any malware from being uploaded to your website, any file modification. We have an incredibly fast malware scanner. I'll include another link down in the description that shows you just how fast. Most sites can be scanned in under 60 seconds, a lot of them in under 10 seconds. You don't have to leave a window open for days and days running on your computer to do the malware scan. It is incredibly fast and efficient and incredibly effective at finding malware. I just ran one on a client's website the other day, and after running malware scanners from other services that took all day, they still had malware. In 60 seconds, the BitFire malware scanner found 4 new instances of malware they didn't know they have. Anyway, very powerful stuff. Let's go ahead and close that. And that's how we protect the file system, but we do more than that. We also protect the database. If you remember, we enabled the RASP database protection. So let's see how that protects from uploading an admin user or creating a new admin user. I just want to show you that we're not logged in here. We're currently logged out. And this time we're going to create, what user accounts do we already have? We have acid burn, and that's it. Let's go ahead and create a serial killer. Create serial killer. And we'll use this guy for our photo. And we're going to create a user account, but we're going to make it an administrator. And now, if we're actually, let's pull open the network tab. Now, what you're going to see is that it's going to create the serial killer account because that's fine. It's going to create it as a subscriber. But when it tries to change the permission to administrator, the RASP is going to notice that and it's going to block the request and not allow that line of code to execute. So we click post comment, halt, something went wrong. Site's protected by BitFire. Your action unauthorized user edit was blocked. Let's look at the post. We were able to write the file, right? File put contents, file put after, before and after. Then before set role, but there's no after set role. If you look at this right here, before set role, this line of code never executed. And that's because while monitoring the database, we noticed that someone was trying to change user permissions. Someone was trying to change those user permissions to an administrator. We then did a permission check on the currently logged in user who is not an administrator, and we blocked that from happening and sent up a block page. That's how our RASP system works. I'm really excited about it. This is years of development to get the product to this point. It is, I believe, the most comprehensive security solution available today for any WordPress website. 100% money back guarantee if you get malware on your site when running our RASP technologies. And we also have on our website a $2,500 bug bounty for anyone who can find a vulnerability with our RASP software. Really appreciate you guys watching the video. I had a really good time putting this together for you guys. I'm so excited about this. Please post down below your comments, what you guys think about the RASP technology being available now for WordPress. Again, I can't tell you how excited I am, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon in the next video. Thanks.